here. Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Sunday. It has been a minute. Happy New Year's. What's going on? What is up? What is up? I am in the process of about to get these YouTube videos done and recorded. So I figured I'll hop on here on live. It's been a minute since your girl has been on here, but I'm back. Okay. So yes, with that being said, guys, I wanted to hop on here real fast because I probably make a whole video about it over there on the YouTube channel side, but I wanted to hop on here really quickly because I've been getting the same messages, and anytime I get the same messages or the same questions or just the same concepts and things like that in general, I always either make a video about it or, anything in that space. So I wanted to share it with you guys, and I should have tagged it. Hey guys, I should have tagged it that this is a marathon, not a sprint. I can't go back and make a title. I don't know how to do that with Instagram. But the point of the matter is that as we go into 2024, I really want, all of our, I guess I would say, quote unquote, business owners, aspiring childcare providers, or whatever your business and whatever your space is. I really want you to put into your mind and put into your understanding that this entire journey that we're doing, this entire space that we're in, whether you are looking to start a business, looking to start a childcare program, looking to expand your childcare program, looking to start any other business that there is under the sun. And this is just in life, right? These are like some things I'm taking into 2024. And the most important one is that this entire process is a marathon. And I say that because like so many people want the done for you service, right? And I share that like as a business owner and as an entrepreneur, like it don't matter how many classes, courses, there's no quick fix. Okay? I'm gonna say that again. There's absolutely no quick fix to the space of success. Yes, some people will run into success, but if you are looking for this space of longevity of success, it takes time. If you are looking, and success may be like whatever it is for you in your space, but I really want people to get out of this, mantra and concept that, because we are in what they love to call a microwavable, like time, right? Where it's like, oh, I want to open up a childcare center. I don't want to be present. And that's not going to work, okay? So you have to get out of this space, and you have to be totally okay knowing that as you go down this entrepreneur journey, that is going to be challenging times. You have to get out of this space in your mind knowing that it takes time to grow into the space of success. It takes time in your business to figure out what works and what doesn't work, right? Like, yes, so many times I get people that send me messages or DMs or YouTube or comment, and they're like, oh, I woke up today and it's January and I want to start my childcare business in March or April. But we have absolutely no idea what it takes. We have absolutely no idea what the requirements are. We have absolutely no budget to begin with. We have absolutely no credit. Like all of the things that it goes into being in the space of being successful in starting a childcare business. So I share that to say that in this space of growth, understand that A, your journey is your journey, for one, and B, really take your time. Because let me tell you something, if you don't take your time now, in the beginning of your business, if you can't take the time, if you want every single thing done for you, you're never going to learn the industry. You're never going to learn the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, the frustration, the pitfalls, the financial challenges, all of the roadblocks that you can run into starting a childcare business or truly just starting any business in general. Like you got to be willing to go through the growing pains in this space of entrepreneurship, especially in this era of entrepreneurship, because our economy is in a different space, right? So if our economy is in a different space of business, then that means that everything is everlasting and changing. So you have to be okay with going through the growing pains of starting a business. You have to be okay with knowing that, yes, I may want to start this business, but I'm also going to have a job over here, right? I think there's like this, and I don't know why it's like that, but I think there's like this negative look or negative connotation of people that still have jobs and everybody that's not entrepreneurs. Let me tell you something. There are plenty of people I know personally that have a childcare business and their business isn't open all day long. Maybe they only start out providing after school services because they got a full-blown job with benefits that's keeping the lights on at their home, right? So we have to be okay with knowing that this entire startup process, this entire daycare industry is the space of being a marathon and it's not a sprint, okay? Can you expedite your process? Yes, you can expedite it, but expedite doesn't mean we go from $0 to 5-figure months. Expedite doesn't mean that we go from $0 to, jumping right into that space of making an umpteen amount of money. What a lot of people don't tell you in that space is that we got plenty of challenges, right? We got securing a building. We got getting zoning done. We got finding an attorney for that zoning. That's like step number 1, making sure that the building can even be certified with your certificate of occupancy in that space to even serve these children, right? There's so many things in this space of startup, and really in any industry. I tell people all the time, any industry I ever wanted to get into, I paid something to figure out what's A to Z. I paid something to figure out, like, okay, what does this look like for me when I get to that space? What is the beginning spaces? And you have to be okay with knowing where you are in your space, right? So if you know, like, yes, I want to start a childcare business, but I really don't got no money like that. Yes, I want to start a childcare business, but I don't even got no credit. I can't even get my hands on $20,000 if I wanted to within the next week. Then that means that you need to focus on your finances, right? That's something that's a part of your growing journey. That's a part of your startup space, right? So you have to be okay in that journey. That doesn't mean that it's never going to happen. That just means that you have to know that I'm literally now, I might not even be in startup. I'm in the finance space, right? Because all too often, and I see this in a lot of industries, a lot of entrepreneurs, is we have the money for startup, but we don't got the money for operations. Okay, and I'm going to say that again. So we have the money. I'm really trying to figure out how to put this battery in. We have the money for startup, but we don't have the money for operations, right? Because we have this understanding that I'm going to start my business, and in a month or so, customers are going to be jumping off the wall. Clients are going to be jumping off the wall. Money is just going to be flowing, and all of my expenses are going to be taken care of. And that is very much far from the truth, right? Okay, good. We locked in a little bit. It's working. Let me tell you something. When I haven't recorded my YouTube videos and I don't know how long, I'm so serious. Okay, good. So I got that measurement going right. Okay, so I say that to say, like, be okay with the long process. Be okay with the space of, like, nah, it's not my season, right? Be okay with, in this season, this might be my research season. This might be my season that I'm getting my money right. This might be my season that I'm saving. This might be my season that I'm getting out of debt. This might be my season that I'm just learning. Like, can we get into a space that we don't have to go from the beginning of, oh my God, this is an idea, to now, boom, I'm open, right? Can we get into a comfortable space that, like, okay, this is something that I want to do. This is a business idea that I do have, but let me do my due diligence. Like, you have to literally be okay with taking full control, okay, of your business. You have to be okay with taking full control of that idea and figuring out what the necessary steps are and being comfortable in that space. Okay? You really have to do that. Like, it's okay to take your time. Everything is not a rush job. It's okay to be in your dreams, in your realities, in that space for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. I can tell you right now, it took us almost one location took damn near $40,000 to open, and another location took $15,000 to open. You learn as you go. Some locations need more tender loving care than others, right? Some locations have to go through multiple inspections than others. Right? You got to figure out what space you are in. Because the faster and more okay that you are being okay with where you are, not worrying about what nobody else is doing, right? The more that you are perfectly fine with understanding all that it takes. I'd rather buy a course, binge watch multiple people's YouTube videos, read an ebook, and understand, oh, this is what it does from A to Z. Oh, I see. I may not be ready yet for that. Right? I'd rather learn the slow way, right? And I say that to say that because everything that you learn doesn't mean it's going to work for you and your business. There's plenty of courses, curriculums, things that I've purchased, many programs that I've enrolled in, and I'm like, okay, all 8 of these things that is available to me that I'm learning in this program, can't apply to my business, but guess what? I can take 2, right? So you have to be okay with learning all that it takes. Like, do not be one of those entrepreneurs that is solely focused on this is the end result. You have to be okay with going through the growing pains of business, right? You have to, and truth be told, entirely your first year is going, I'm not even gonna say your first year. Your first year, you're just figuring it out. Let me tell you, I don't care how much of an expert you are, unless this is a multiple site location, unless this is a franchise company, whatever the area is, you're figuring out what works well for you. Because let me tell you something, you can literally have your business plan just like this. That's my new favorite notebook. You can have your business plan just like that and then go left, right? And then you got to pivot. There's a season of pivot. I can't even count on how many times we didn't have to pivot. Okay? So you have to be okay with going through the growing pains. We're going to make 2024 our year of being okay with not rushing our process, but more really trusting our process that this is where I'm at. Okay? And another thing I got to say, guys, we got to get comfortable with this space of like, you know, all this like, oh, I don't want to learn this. It's too hard. Oh, I don't want to understand funding. You better understand funding if you want your business to grow. You better understand finances if you want your business to grow. You better understand business if you want your business to grow. There is no like microwavable space to success. Like, yes, you can get a coach. Yes, you can get a mentor. Yes, you can enroll in a program. Yes, you're going to learn some things. But I tell people all the time, in our coaching program, let me tell you something. The things I'm teaching y'all in 6 or 7 weeks, it took me damn near 13 years to learn and figure out. There's no rush. Okay, you are literally on your own journey and you are literally in your own space. So some of the things that we're taking into 2024, the first one is being okay with where you are. That's the first one. Be okay with where you are, right? The second thing that we want to take as we go into 2024 is we want to be perfectly fine with seeing and figuring out what does it take from A to Z, okay? It's not that entrepreneurs, if you see, they say, okay, the first 5 years of business, you're figuring it out. Your first 3 to 4 to 5 years of business, especially if you have a brick and mortar business, and that's a whole nother concept. But brick and mortar and digital are 2 different spaces. They're completely 2 different spaces. Opening up a childcare center that's a family-based childcare program and opening up a center-based program, they're 2 different lanes. They're 2 different spaces. It's 2 different budgets, right? It's 2 different sets of finances. It's 2 different sets of expectations. So you really got to truly, truly lock in and figure out, where am I, right? And really set yourself realistic goals. I ask clients this all the time. Okay, yeah, you want your child care center to be open by, what month are we in? January? You want your child care center to be open by June, right? Okay, cool. Have you started shopping the market yet? No. Have you wrote a business plan yet? No. Have you even done your due diligence on your research and figure out what kind of clientele you want to service? No. Have you secured any level of funding yet? At least, I'm going to say 10 or 15,000? No. I really am still living in my space of check to check. So how is that a realistic goal for you to be in that space of opening up in the next 4 months? A center, not your home, because a home is completely different, but a center, right? So you got to be okay with figuring out where you are in that journey. Stop rushing your process and trust your process, okay? Do your due diligence. So many times people say, oh, I want a childcare program, but I just want to be able to, I just want you to be able to basically do everything for me, and I just want to pay whatever it costs and get it done. That's not going to work, okay? You have to be involved in your business. This is not the industry that you are not going to not be involved. This is not the industry that you are going to be like, oh, this, you know why? Because we're servicing children. These are children that are in our everyday lives. And if you want to be a childcare owner or a childcare provider that's starting a business of quality, then you very much need to educate your mind. And I didn't even mean to say that in a crazy way, just how I ended up, but you really got to be ready to educate your mind, okay? So you got to be okay with understanding finances. You have to be okay with understanding regulations. You have to be okay with knowing what financial literacy is. You have to be okay with understanding how children develop and grow. No, you don't got to be an expert at everything, but you got to know that these are areas that I'm going to need to either bring someone in to teach me and learn, or I'm going to go through the growing pains. Okay? So make sure as you go into this space of 2024 that is something that you are definitely perfectly fine and okay with, right? So you really want to think about, no pun intended. So you really want to think about, and ask yourself in your space. That's why I'm planning out all my YouTube content, guys. Today's the day. I was super like, let's get into it. But y'all know when we plan, we usually bulk record and stuff out. So I did get all y'all DMs and your themes and stuff that you guys want me to make YouTube videos about. So I'm really excited about that. But I had to get on here, guys, because I really want people, as we go into this new year of 2024, all of my aspiring childcare providers, all of my current childcare providers, guys, be okay with where you are. We are not rushing, okay? I know that in this space of social media and so much that we see from Instagram to YouTube to TikTok, that they have this concept like, oh, I want to start a childcare business because the childcare industry can appear to seem lucrative. I'm here to clearly tell you that you got to know what it is you're getting yourself into. Very clear. Okay? You better make sure that you do your due diligence and your research when it comes to finances and where you are in your business. Because let me tell you something, every state is different. Some states have more grants than others. Some states have easier and more supportive the startup process than others, right? You might want to start a business and you might want to start a childcare center and have absolutely no idea that your state requires a director with a degree and you don't got the degree. So what we doing then? Right? You might have only thought that you could put enough to the side to say, okay, I got enough for my building. I got enough for rent for 6 months. I got enough for all of these things. But dang, I didn't take into account that I can't even open up with a director, and a director on average is looking for anywhere from $40,000 to $45,000 salary. You didn't plan for that, right? Because we were rushing just wanting to say, I opened my own business. I'd rather take my time, okay? I'd rather take my time and figure it out and map out and really account for all of the things than rushing in the opening up process. And now you got this building and you done signed this lease and you're like, damn, I didn't realize, like, now I'm stuck. I see this happen countless times. I see people sign 3-year leases, 5-year leases, and now they're stuck in a space because they didn't account for a major contributing factor. And now the state's like, oh, well, we're going to come out and license, this is going to be your start date for your licensing. And, just make sure you have your director and all their credentials on file. And they're like, oh, shit, wait, what happened? Take your time. Stop rushing. You have a business savvy. Does this work for all this? I'm looking to. Yeah, so I can't say that it works for all. I can't say that it works for all businesses. I just know that in all of the businesses that we have ever started, you have to do your research. Like, you really do. You have to take your time in that space of startup. Do not allow anybody to rush your process. Okay? I see so many times all too far. Be okay with knowing I'm going to need a startup budget and I'm going to need an operation budget. Operation don't got nothing to do with startup. Hey, great little kids. Operation has nothing to do with startup. You still need to be able to keep the lights on. You still need to be able to pay a staff person. You still need to be able to physically be there. Okay? So make sure that you understand and that you know all that you're getting yourself into. So many times, all too far, I see people in plenty of times, it's like, oh, I want to get a second location. I want multiple locations. I can tell y'all, multiple locations come with multiple problems, okay? Okay? Be ready for that. Are you ready for that? Is the first location that you already got open, is it locked in and loaded? Is your staff like firm and secure, or are you still going through the wheel? Right? Is your funding secure, or are you still robbing Peter to pay Paul? Meaning you transfer money from this line of credit and you don't barely got no money left over. Is your credit right? Like, you really got to be understanding we need capital. Like I'm telling us so many times, and the fact that people think like, oh, I want to get more capital. Yes, we want more capital, but do you have enough cash flow to make sure that capital is not putting your level of business at debt to the point that you can't get any more extended capital? Have you created cash flow in your business? Because cash flow is top priority. Like it's super top priority, especially in this industry right now. You'll see banks are not lending as friendly and easily as they used to businesses. The day and age of like, oh, I think I'm just going to go out and get a line of credit. Do not get fooled. You need capital to grow your business. You need capital to expand your business. You need capital to be able to sustain those slow, high up and down seasons. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. It does not matter what industry you're in. You are going to need that level of funding, so take your time. Again, this childcare journey, this childcare space, it's a marathon. It's not a rush to get to the next process, because sometimes it takes you to figure out, oh, I thought this system was going to work for my business because it looks like this system works for everybody else's business, but it doesn't work for mine. And you have to be okay with that, right? So you have to be okay with learning multiple ways to do things, okay? And you really, really want to be in that space to learn and not be, I've seen plenty of times people like, damn, I'm $50,000 in debt and I have no cash flow. I'm $50,000 in debt and I got 3 kids enrolled and this capacity is for 25. Okay? Be okay. Know that when you start that business, no matter whether it's childcare, barbershop, hair shop, you might want to start a store, have money for capital. We were having a good, it was like, I guess 2 weeks ago, my girlfriends and I, we were planning our businesses and, figuring out how are we going to grow our businesses and expand our businesses, and are we starting any new business venture? And guess what? The common denominator in that conversation of starting new businesses, guys, she was on here, but she probably got off. The common denominator in that space of starting new businesses was the numbers. Y'all know everybody saying like, oh, is the math not mathing? Get into the numbers. Don't have a business idea or have something you want to do just because it's like, oh my God, I think that this is the industry. It's a quick fix. Okay? Preparing yourself for retirement is not a quick fix. Growing a business is not a quick fix. You may have a lucky year. You may have a lucky year or two, but you got to be there through the growing pains when you don't have those super, super financial freedom years, quote unquote, as they say. Okay? You may be, and this is the biggest thing I heard someone say, and I'm like, oh my God, I felt that when they said that. I've done things that I've made money with, right? Like I can generate money. I could blink my eyes and know how to generate money. But a business is not all about generating money. Yes, you want to generate money, but if you're just generating and consistently breaking even year after year after year, or generating money, and you're taking major losses year after year after year, then we're not making profit. Okay? And if we're not making profit, then that's not good for our business in the long run, because ultimately we want to show that we are making profit. So anytime you sit down, which I'm pretty sure many of you guys are doing, is sitting down now saying, Dad, okay, it's the end of the year. What did I do? What do my numbers look like at the end of this year? And you're like, damn. I know I've seen so many businesses be like, yo, I made $100,000. Yeah, your business made $100,000, but you actually took a negative $10,000 loss in that $100,000. Let's talk about that. Okay? So you have to understand that there's a major difference between grossing and then profiting. Okay? And that's why you want to take your time in that space. Your business may not be ready for something that you're wanting to put on there. And really, truly, when you want to add a service on, or when you want to start a business, you want to ask yourself, outside of, am I ready to be an entrepreneur? Outside of, how is this business going to solve the problems that my customer and their client needs to get solved? But more importantly, what does the potential numbers look like? Okay? How am I going to actually make this money? Am I going to be on payroll, or am I going to hire a manager? Am I going to be there Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m.? Am I going to have a 24-hour childcare program? Like, look at all the things. Don't just look at what we see on the outside. Because what we don't see and what most people don't see that when they want to start childcare programs is they don't see long hours, right? They don't see staff turnover, right? They don't see the breaking even. They don't see the financial losses. They don't see the long window of the startup process dealing with licensing agencies and licensing inspections and health departments and the Department of State. And they don't see all of those things. They think, oh, I want my daycare center to be open in 4 months. I want my daycare center to be open in 5 months, but I barely got money to, okay? Do you have financing and money for those appliances? Do you have financing and money? You might got enough money to put down for the location, but do you have enough to actually create the classrooms? Do you have enough to actually put learning materials on those shelves? Or is your childcare program going to be a childcare program that the shelves are damn near empty and the children barely got toys to play with? Okay? So make sure that as you think about starting that childcare business, make sure as you think about even starting any business that you are perfectly getting into the numbers and you are taking your time and learning what it takes. You are taking your time and not rushing your entrepreneur journey. Don't rush it. Because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to be an entrepreneur. And no matter whether you start your business in 2024, 2025, 2026, I've seen plenty of people that was like, dang, I thought I wanted to stop teaching. Like I thought I wanted to quit teaching, quit my teaching business. And I really want to now give up my 401k, give up my summers off, give up my great salary. But I see that this is the industry that is going to take some time. So I'm not going to quit my teaching job just because I want to start a daycare center. I'm not going to do that right away. I'm going to get these other things in place. My credit is definitely super low. And I definitely need to get in the 700 club. I definitely need to get over the 680 club. Easily. I definitely need to get my utilization down because you can still be well over the 680 club and banks and credit cards still not lend to you because your utilization is disrespectfully high. Okay? So make sure that you are understanding all that it takes to start a business and make sure that you are financially ready to start that business in the space from startup budget to operations budget. And this is just any business that you want to start. Okay? Yes, all businesses. Okay? So you want to make sure it doesn't matter whether, let me tell you something, when I wanted to start Educated Minds, it don't matter at the end of the day. You could still want to start a whole nother business. Did I have capital for that? No. Okay? So let's be honest. You guys have to understand finances and money in business. Right? So many times we can be like, oh, I don't want to pay a staff. I'm going to pay them under the table because taxes is too much. I know y'all saw that new regulation that just came out for businesses as of January 2024, all seasoned corporations. I know y'all seen it. Okay? So make sure that you understand what are the pros, what are the cons. Educate your mind on business. Because one thing I can tell you this, that my mentors told me, Dom, it don't matter what industry you're in. When you have an accountant, when you have a CPA, when you have a financial advisor, they not speaking to the fact that this is just your industry. No. Cash flow, profit and loss, balances, it's all the same. Okay? And truth be told, one industry might be more than another. Okay? So you need that capital. You need that startup. So you need to do your job and not rush your process. Take your time. But let me go, guys, because I said I was getting on my YouTube was like, could you please go live? But I was like, let me hop into my Instagram family first. But guys, I gotta get off because I gotta get ready to start recording my YouTube videos, guys. If you are not subscribed, then make sure y'all do subscribe over there because that is where my long content format. Y'all rarely see me do lives here on Instagram. I'm really over at my YouTube space. I love that and that community over there. And we now have memberships over there, brand new. But guys, take your time. Don't allow anybody to rush your process. Don't allow anybody to rush your expansion. Don't allow anyone to rush that process. Take your time. It is okay with going slow. Okay? Everything is not an expedited Wait, can we get merch anywhere? Yes. Okay, guys. Let me tell y'all something. My sweatshirts are always on my website. Y'all can always go on there and get an Educated Minds crew neck. Okay? But make sure y'all take your time. Like, it's not a rush process. That's something that I've learned even in my businesses with being a serial entrepreneur. But the ultimate goal is, like I've told this to many, entrepreneurs, is like, take your time. It's okay. It's no rush. It's no rush at all. Your journey is specifically designed for you. Okay? Your success is specifically designed for you to know. Does that mean you be like, oh, I don't want to learn anything new? Oh, I don't want to grow to this. Oh, I don't want to now get a different funding stream. No, that's not what that means. But what it means is take your time in business. Because not taking your time in business will cost you a lot of L's. Not taking your time in business will cost you a lot of financial hardship. Okay? Not taking your time in business when you're especially starting a business or starting a childcare program will cost you a lot of money. I've seen it time and time again. Okay? And let me tell you something. Things that you learn, when you learn something, I've learned so many things. When you learn something, hey, Lovely Lay, hey, Niche, I've learned that when I've learned something, it doesn't mean that I'm going to implement it in my business right now. Right? I might be like, Dad, that's a good idea, but I know that I'm in this space. You got to be in control of where your timeline is at. You got to be in control of where your journey is at. Okay? Do not allow anyone to rush your time. Take your time. Take your time to understand money. Take your time to understand business. And take your time to understand the full picture. I'm telling y'all, because I done made a whole lot of financial mistakes. And I'm like, Dad, I wasn't even thinking it. You know what I mean? Or I was like, Dad, I thought that as soon as I got the building, I was just going to go apply for this and that. I didn't even realize, damn, that building needed a certificate of occupancy because it's been over 10 years. I didn't know that. Okay? So make sure you take your time in your startup process. Take your time in your business. And last but not least, I want to challenge you guys. If you want to do anything in your business, if you want to add on to your business, if you want to get another funding stream in your business, whatever it is that you want to do, ask yourself, how is this going to help my customers? Okay? Because that's what it's about. How is it going to help my customers? And how is this going to help and or hurt my bottom line number? Okay? How is it going to help my customers? And how is it going to help and or hurt my bottom line number by this decision that I decide to make in my business? And that's the truth. Once you answer those two things many times, it could sound good up here and it could feel good by what you're thinking, or it could feel good by somebody saying like, yo, you should do this. But guess what? That may not be a good fit for your clientele. It may not be a good fit for the clientele that you service, the area where you are. It's a great idea, but it's not a good fit for my business. And how would you know if something is a good fit for your business unless you sit down and take the time to figure that out? Okay? But let me go, guys. I got to hop on here. Make sure you guys are on my YouTube channel. The link is directly in my bio. Subscribe there. That is where videos drop every single week. All right? But let me go because your girl got to get this camera popping and going and get all of our videos and stuff like that out, guys. Have a great brand new year. I might slide back on here. I thought I would come back to Instagram. It's just our community really is over there in the space of YouTube, guys. But trust your own process. Don't let anybody rush what it is that you want to do. We all have dreams. We all have desires. But one thing I do want to say, be okay with chasing that dream. Be okay with learning in that dream. Be okay with going through the growing pains of being an entrepreneur. I have dozens of entrepreneur friends in many industries, and we all have a common denominator. When it's good, it's great. And when it's down, it's low. But one thing for certain and two things for sure, I am perfectly fine with going through the growing pains of being an entrepreneur. I am perfectly fine, and I understand. I got my warrior cape on with being an entrepreneur. Okay? Because don't look at somebody's chapter 33 and you only on chapter 3. Okay? Do not compare yourself to somebody's chapter 33 and their business and you're only on 3. You have no idea whatsoever what it took that person all of these years. Like so many things, I'm telling y'all, so many lessons that I didn't learn just being a childcare director, just being a childcare owner, just being a second generational family business. Like, there's so many things that go in. Some people say like, oh, Dom, do you love having a partner? Yes, because there's times where I can't get up and my partner is there. There's times where she don't feel like it and my partner is there. You have to know what works well for your business. Okay? Be okay with going through the growing pains. Do not allow anything on the exterior that you see or you look or you click to be like, oh, this is it. You do this, you're going to be successful. They lied. Okay? It takes time. Any successful entrepreneur will tell you it takes time to grow your business. But when you're in the growing pains of that season of your business, I'm going to tell you something. That's when it feels the best. Because you'd be like, dang, now I know, like, I'm locked in, I'm focused, I'm committed to my vision, I'm committed to my grind. Okay? That doesn't mean that you give up. It just means that you pivot. And pivoting, that we were talking about this in the CEO circle last week, because we was like, dang, you know, we're looking at numbers and we're looking at finances. Some things that you might have was like, oh, no, there's no way I'm not doing that. You might be doing that when you're trying to get your numbers up. Okay? You might be accepting certain age groups that maybe you weren't accepting initially on when you actually look at the numbers. Somebody, we was in there the other day and we was like, dang, if I look at my number and I accept a after school child as a star 4 program, or I accept a toddler as a star 4 program, this is the only difference. This is the number. This is the difference between having a 2-year-old in my building all day or having a school ager in my building for 3 hours, 3.5 hours a day. Oh, it's only a $200 difference? Oh, well, damn, I definitely don't want to bring in this age group right now, because that $200, that's the only difference going to get aided by payroll. So it's not conducive for my business. But how will we know if it's conducive or not if we're not sitting down looking at the numbers? Okay? Get into your business, get into your industry, and figure out what it is that I need to focus on. Everything doesn't need to be focused on at the same time. Okay? But peace, guys. Check y'all later.